everyone, welcome to Today Astral Reflection. And before I start with my new video, I would like to request you all to subscribe and like my channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get updated with all my upcoming videos. And do press the like button for this video in case you like it. And if you want personal consultation from me, please feel free to contact me on the links given below this video. So let's start with today's topic, that is Venus retrograde. As we all know, Venus is the karka of love, relationship, marriage, romance. Venus also signifies woman in your chart. Venus signifies your female friends, your spouse mainly. Venus also signifies the wealth and assets, your financial investment in your chart. So, and what is retrograde? As I have discussed earlier, retrograde during a retrograde season, it will be seen that the planet is actually moving backward as seen from Earth. But does a planet really move backward? No. Uh, During retrograde, the planet is actually moving very close to Earth. Therefore, the intensity of that planet, the intensity of the karkas of those planets will be felt very strongly among people. So, retrograde is a period of confusion, of non-clearance of thought. People will take wrong decisions. They might be very sensitive during this time. So, it's better to just think and reflect on your life, on your work, on your relationship. Don't take any drastic decisions. Don't take any drastic uh, don't make any drastic changes in your life, because people are very confused during this time, and it's better to stay away from making permanent decision, because often those decisions, those choices you make during retrograde season uh, usually are proven wrong after the retrograde season is over. So it's better to just sit back, relax, and reflect on your life, on your work and relationship during retrograde. So usually during retrograde, Venus retrograde, people of Libra and Taurus ascendant or moon sign will feel a bit down, low, or shaken up, because Venus is their Lagnesh, their ascendant lord. Also, during Venus retrograde, many old flames, your old friends, your distant relatives might resurface. They might try to reach out and contact you. And also, if your relationship is, if it is going through a rough patch, then you must be very careful and take care of your relationship, because you might eventually break up from your partner, because Venus retrograde is such a sensitive period. It might cause disrupts and arguments between you and your partner, and if your relationship is not stable, you might end up breaking it. So you have to be very careful. Now, saying all this, now let's start with what are the do's and don'ts during Venus retrograde, so that you can be careful during this retrograde season. Now, before I start, I like to say that since Venus is going retrograde in the upcoming month, it's not necessary that the retrograde effect will be felt during that 1 month period time. Venus normally goes for retrograde for a month's time, but not necessarily we'll feel the effects during that 1 month's time. The effect can be felt before also and afterwards also. Before, it's called the shadow period. We can start feeling the effect of Venus retrograde at least a month before the actual date. That is called the shadow period of any retrograde planet. And even after Venus stops going in backward direction, that is, it stops being retrograde, it is stationed, that period also has its effect. So even after the actual date of retrograde, which is the date of when the retrograde is getting over, don't think the effects will stop. So even after the retrograde season is over, the effects can be felt for about 15 to 20 days. So it's not that only for a month we'll feel the effects of Venus retrograde. It can be felt for about 2.5 months altogether. And it is also seen that many people say they have felt the retrograde effects mostly during the shadow period or the period when Venus is stationed before it goes in direct motion after the retrograde season is over. During the station period of Venus, that time also they have felt the retrograde effects very largely. So let's start with the do's and don'ts of Venus retrograde. Now, what all things we should not do during Venus retrograde? The first and foremost thing we should not do during Venus retrograde is we should not get into new relationships, into new friendships, especially with female friends and partners, because as I have discussed earlier, it's a confusing period of time where people don't think clearly. Even the friendships and relationships you're accepting, new friendship and relationship you're accepting during this time, they may turn out faulty or not up to the mark of your expectation. So you eventually, as far as I've seen in my experience, any relationship or friendship which is made during the retrograde season don't last long. You eventually break up. So don't go in for new relationships or friendship during this time. Also, don't make any marriage plans, or don't get married during retrograde season. It is not at all a good time to get married. And since Venus also signifies your finances, your assets, don't go in for new investments. Don't choose new companies where you will invest your finances. And because it might you might end up losing money, since you don't have clarity of thought during this time. Also, if you're planning to buy um, big if you're planning to go for big purchases like cars, houses, it's better to avoid this period of time, because Venus also signifies assets and financial investment. So since you're not very clear in your thoughts, Venus retrograde can create confusion. You might end up buying um, wrong assets, and not assets which are not of no use to you. Might be the car which you are buying and suddenly comes up with faults, and you have to send it for repairing a number of times. Maybe the house you are purchasing during Venus retrograde have hidden termite problems or hidden other faults, plumbing issues. So you might end up regretting later. So it's best to avoid any big purchase during Venus retrograde season. Now, after saying all this, what are the things you can do? What are the do's you must do during the Venus retrograde season? One thing you must do during the retrograde season, Venus retrograde, is that you can always introspect and reflect on your relationships, on your finances and investments. If your relationship is not stable, if it needs efforts from your side as well as from your partner's side, you may think about it. You might make up plans in your mind as to how to improve your relationship. Also, same goes for finances. Like if you're thinking of making investments, or buying any asset, or buying any purchasing any investing your finances in certain companies, you may think about it, you may contemplate about it, but don't do anything right now during the retrograde season. After the retrograde season is over and you still feel firm about your decision, then you can go ahead and do your financial investment and buy those things which you had in mind. Maybe you can go for big purchases like house and cars, but only after the retrograde season is over. Retrograde season is specifically for thinking and contemplating, about reflection and introspecting, nothing more than that. Don't take any firm decisions, don't make any big purchases, don't make any big major moves or changes in your life. Because we are not clear, we are all confused during retrograde season, and you may end up regretting later. Actually, this is the third time I'm shooting for this video. I have to do this video again and again because of certain technical problems. So here I would like to add two things. The first thing is, um, don't take any major decisions, and any don't bring about major changes in your life, because even if don't get into action during Venus retrograde, because even if you're working or Even if you're doing something, you will have to do it, you have to repeat your work again and again, again and again, because you won't get the desired result. That is the beauty of retrograde season. I had to shoot this video. This is the third time shooting this video. And the other thing which I wanted to talk about is I missed on certain point about Venus. Venus also signifies beauty, luxury, arts and creativity in life. any Anything which relates to beauty is Venus. Maybe like beauty parlors, makeovers, makeup, perfumes, these are all Venus related karkas. Also interior decoration, stylish furnitures, fine dining, cinema halls, anything about luxury, about arts and creativity also signifies Venus. So another do and don't about Venus retrograde is, like, don't go for makeovers, don't go for any surgeries or operations if you had planned during the Venus retrograde season, because you might not appreciate the final product after the retrograde season is over. Because people who are doing this makeover and people who are undergoing these makeovers and surgeries, uh, actually people in general tend to be very confused during the retrograde season, and they may end up taking wrong actions, wrong decisions. So it's best to avoid makeover and surgeries during this season. Also, to bring about major interior decoration changes in your house, or changing of your wardrobe, all these things should be avoided. So what you can do during Venus retrograde is the long awaited purchase of needful things, the things which you really need and which is pending for a long time, like the basic woolen wear for winter, or some linen for your house, for example buying of blankets for the winter, which is necessity, which you must do, which you must purchase. You can go for those things, buying needful things which have been pending for a long time. For more than 6 months you have been thinking about buying it, but you actually couldn't buy it for some reason or the other. You can go for buying those things. Retrograde is always the season for bringing up past matter. Retrograde always encourages bringing up past issues, pending matters. So it's a good time to go for purchase of clothings, of things, accessories, or furniture, anything related to your interiors during the retrograde season, which are needful and which are pending for a long time. You can go ahead and buy during the retrograde season. Chances are that you might not regret it later, but be very careful during the purchase. Ensure the price is correct and you're getting a good quality product. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, all about Venus retrograde from my side. I hope you liked the video. Please let me know in the comment section. I'll be always eager to hear from you. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant time ahead. See you later in my other upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Bye.